This is The Truth About News. I'm your host, Keith Lander, coming to you from Dayton, Ohio, the Gem City. And if you haven't visited Dayton in a while, come to Dayton. We got a lot of stuff going on. So that's my promotion to Dayton, just a little bit. Today we're going to talk about children. We're going to talk about them from the perspective of these school shootings. Now, August the 27th, 2025, there was another school shooting in Minneapolis at a Catholic school. All right, the shooter allegedly fired through the window at the church in Minneapolis, killing 2 children. And 14 other children, 3 elderly parishioners were wounded. Folks, here we go again. We seem to be on the same track, doing the same thing that we did last time. Whenever a school shooting, we always hear thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers is not an action plan to help reduce these shootings. Let me ask you this: anybody out there, and I'll give you 3 seconds to holler at the TV and give me your answer. What is the leading cause of death among children between ages of 1 and 17? All right, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to answer. The leading cause of death between children 1 through 17 ages. Okay, here's your 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Now I'll give you the answer. While I wait, you might want to try to look it up on your phone, but I'll answer it for you. It's gun deaths. That's right. That's right. And that was done in a study in 2022. Firearms were the leading cause of death for children in the ages of 1 to 17. So folks, we got a problem. America's got a problem. When we can't protect our children, I mean, do we really care about other folks' children? Because I guarantee if some of those state legislators who are making all these laws and some of these people that, prayer and all that kind of thing, I guarantee if their kid got gunned down in the school, they'll be doing everything they can to prevent another one. And to say that, you all remember Sandy Hook back in December the 12th. December 2020. I don't know the exact date, but in that year, where 27 people died in Sandy Hook, and 20 of them first grade students. First grade students gunned down. First grade, gunned down. And there was calls out to try to do something. Do something so we can try to prevent this from happening. And what do we get? We got the same old thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers will not prevent the next shooting. It won't do it. You got to do better than that. Matter of fact, Sandy Hook, some of the parents and some other folks that was involved in that Sandy Hook, they have a Sandy Hook Promise, which is a national movement to educate and empower youth and adults to prevent violence in schools, homes, and communities. Now, they do have a website. I suggest you look that up. It's called Sandy Hook Promise. It's an excellent website. They got a lot of resources on there. These people are doing their best to try to prevent the next school shooting. Now, with that, here's some stats. It seems to be that the United States has 57 times many school shootings as other major industrialized nations combined. Now, I'm going to put the chart. The producer will put the chart up there. It says since 2009, 288 school shootings in the United States, compared to those of Canada, which only had 2, France had 2, Germany had 1, Japan had nothing, 0, Italy had 0, and the UK had 0. So why is it that all these school shootings are happening here in the United States? Somebody needs to examine that. Somebody needs to have a congressional hearing. Why is it that the United States have all these shootings at these schools and these other countries have none or very, very little? Somebody want to examine that? We want to have a congressional hearing on that? Because shouldn't just be United States doing this. We need to know what Canada, France, Germany, Japan, Italy, UK, we need to know what they're doing, because what they're doing is working. They don't have to deal with all these school shootings and these kids coming up dead like here in the United States. Call your congressman, tell them to get on involved. And a lot of people come talking about, well, it's mental illnesses. Mental illness is what's leading these people. These people are mental. These people are mental. I get that. So what do? Number one, what Donald Trump and his administration did when they passed that, as they call it, the big beautiful bill, right? They cut mental health funds to the tune of $12.4 billion. It's been estimated. So if you say it's mental health, then you got to put some monies in on the side of those people who are working with mental health. And to give you a direct cost of this thing, especially in Minneapolis, there was a program set up in Minneapolis, and there was a $100,000 grant that was going to this program, and the grant was basically part to social workers, to mental health professionals, to probation officers to identify potential threats, right? But the funding's cut, so they can't work on it no more. That's what I'm talking about, folks. You can't say one thing and then turn around and do another. Well, let me bring you to Donald Trump. I know you've probably seen the video. It's out there circulating in social media places where Donald Trump had a briefing on September the 2nd. Now, I'm going to pause for a minute so that you can hear what he said at this briefing, and I'm going to come back on the other side with my thoughts.
These are hardcore criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. They were born to be criminals, and they're tough and mean, and they'll cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next day. They won't even remember that they did it. And we're not going to have those people.
And I want to speak directly to our children as well. And please hear me loud and clear. Do not listen to what Donald Trump called you yesterday. When the president from the Oval Office calls you natural-born killers, children who are born to be violent, I say this: I respect the office, but I will never honor ignorance. To our children, you are loved and you're needed. To our children, we believe in you and we invest in you. To our children, we love you and we are going to honor every God-honored potential that you have. To our children, there's nothing we won't do to keep you safe. To our children, we love you and we are going to make sure that you are never bullied. And I don't care what position they hold. Because I want to be clear, if I listened, when I was coming up, if I listened to the tropes and to the trolls, if I listened to the haters and the heartless, if I listened to the Archie Bunker mindset and the dog whistling, if I spent my time focusing on those people who did not love me instead of focusing on those people who do, I would never be the 63rd governor of the state of Maryland and the only black governor in the United States of America. Here in Maryland, we believe in you. We're going to support you. We're going to make sure you're safe. And we're going to make sure that every God-honored opportunity is within your grasp.
Now, what this man said, Donald Trump, he said that Governor Moore, governor of the Westmore, he's the governor of Maryland, and Governor Moore had stated publicly that, you know, they need more housing in Baltimore and this kind of thing, and some other things. Well, Donald Trump took it, and he said they don't need housing. So I guess Donald Trump knows more about what's needed in Baltimore, Maryland, than the governor do, huh? And then he went on to say, Donald Trump, he says they need to get rid of the criminals, all right? He said these are hardcore criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good in 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years. They're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. And he goes on to say some other stuff. But Governor Westmore responds to this is the fact that, matter of fact, somebody should ask Donald Trump when he talk about they. Who is the they he's speaking of? Who is the they? Who's he saying they were born criminals? Who are the they? White youth? Black youth? Latino youth? Who's the they he's talking about in Washington, D.C., who was, as he called it, born to be criminals, frankly? This is the President of the United States talking like a member of a white supremacist. Talking about they're not going to be good 10 years, 20 years, or 2 years. So in Donald Trump's mind, he just done gave up on all the youth. Just done gave up. He ain't even trying to fix whatever issues going on. And there's many issues that goes along with the youth. But throwing them out like Donald Trump is talking here is not helpful. Now, Governor Westmore, he came back on him. And I love Governor Westmore for doing this. And as you've seen on the video, Westmore said, if you listen to the haters and the heartless, if you listen to the Archie Bunker mindsets and the dog whistles, he said, if I spent my time focusing on those people who do not love me instead of focusing on those people who do, I never would have been the 63rd governor of the state of Maryland and the only black governor in the United States. That's the way people in leadership is supposed to respond and supposed to encourage our youth, supposed to encourage other people who are downtrodden, supposed to not look down on them like Donald Trump do, but to bend down and offer a hand to pick them up. This is what this country is about, folks. This country is about opportunity, but you gotta set the platform to be for people to take advantage of the opportunities. You just can't kick them in the ass and move them on because you don't like whatever they're doing. And I hope Governor Westmore runs for president. I sure hope he runs for president because this man, he is smart, he's articulate, he cares, he knows what the issues are, and he gets results. So, I'm going to close with that, folks. Until next time, may God bless you and your family.